Hey, how's it going? Let's do a late night random magazine video. How does that sound? Been doing a lot of magazines recently. Let's just go like this, alright? What do you think? Just gonna be, I don't know what we're gonna get. Kind of going right in the middle. That's okay. Alright, we got it all. On the top. Ooh, look at that top. Wow. Vampire Tales. Come on. How you doing? How's everything going? Hold on. Let's see. How do we do this? I'm watching BattleTech. I'll have to turn the volume down. Mute. Look at all those Baroness accessories over there. This is where you guys are going to go. You're going to go right. Can you hear me okay? I'm kind of talking quietly. But I am talking close to the microphone, so hopefully you can hear me. See, this is the Baroness over here. And that's the game of Jaws. That's tomorrow's video. This is tonight. And we're doing kind of, the longer form, chilling at home, looking at stuff. And we got magazines tonight. All right. Let me get settled in here, take my glasses off so I can see better. Because, yeah, I've mentioned that before recently. Go figure, I see better without my glasses. First magazine we have is Vampire Tales. Nightmare Legends of the Living Dead. Vampire Tales number 9, February, 75 cents. Well, boy, Blade, the Vampire Slayer battles the endless legions of the living dead. 5 fear, features, and fantasies in the macabre Marvel manner. A Vampire Berserk Blood Lunge. Looks like it's been read a lot, doesn't it? And I would say yes, it has been read a lot. I've had this for years. This is the only Vampire Tales comic that I owned as a kid, and as an adult, I think I might. I don't know. I don't know if I even own another one. I can't remember if there's another one. If there's another one, it might be in here, and maybe when I'll see it, I'll be reminded. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there is another one from my childhood, but I just remember this one. Everyone remembers this one. This was the only one I had. The Vampire of the Inn. I'm kind of looking in here for the date. February 75. That makes perfect sense. So here's a Blade story. The art looks good, doesn't it? So I haven't read this in 30 years probably, and I should reread it. Completely should reread it. Look at these other books that they had. Monsters Unleashed and The Haunt of Horror. Blood Lunge. There's the one that they're talking about on the cover. Who did this art? Russ Heath. Wow. Wow. Looks kind of cool, man. I like that. I like all this black ink everywhere. Look at that. That was a short story, wasn't it? Doug Monk wrote that. Missed any Marvel masterpieces lately? I missed all of them because I was 10 and I didn't know where to buy them or anything. I didn't even know what they were. Always wanted these belt buckles. Let's move on to the next magazine. That's enough. This is a new magazine. It's called, man, is there anything, what could we do better? Should we go a little closer? All this other, there's too much clutter on the table or something. I don't like this stuff. That's a little better. I guess it's not much better. Look at this knife. Whoa. This belongs to the Baroness. She's over here. Want to see her? She's a new G.I. Joe that I got. made by Super 7. Oh, shoot. I almost got stuck. She's ready to give you some sort of, that's not going to be pleasant. She's going to give it to you at gunpoint. You right there, the person watching this video. Yeah. Let's put her right here. That's better. Okay, that's now the shot looks better. So this is a new thing. It's called Creepy Classic Movies Monster Bash. Looks like there's going to be more than one issue in here. These came from Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. I like that cover, right? Here's another one. Look at that one. Monster Bash number 50. Great cover. Ooh, this is really cool. So this is real. This is not it's not new. This is old. It just looks like it's new because it's in such amazing condition. I got this at the Fear Fest in San Francisco, at Kirk Hammett's Fear Fest, December 1974. There were some amazing dealers there. It was such a great show. Anyway, it was a really cool show. This was, I think it was 2014 is when I got this. It's like brand new, right? Planet of the Apes, Dracula, Exorcist, Gorgo. It's Movie Monsters 100 Weird Photos #1 from 1974. Let's check it out. I think I paid like maybe $10 for this. There was a bunch of stuff like this there. Uncirculated copies of all of these old monster magazines from the 70s and from the 60s. Lots of them. Oh, look at that. Conga. Wow, this is great, isn't it? I need to look through this again. It's like brand new. This is just like crisp. This show was at a big ballroom, and it was a really special show. It's like it had the place where it was in San Francisco, and it was a large building and an old building with multiple different venues and a live stage and 4 different floors and a cocktail lounge and bar. All of this was happening at this show, and my girlfriend and I had VIP tickets. I know, it was pretty awesome. So we saw everything. We were there for a couple different, we lived in the city, so we were able to do everything. These are great. Wow, that's cool. What's next? This is a neat magazine. This is a fairly new magazine. See, look. Winter 2013. Issue 26. Mad Scientist. Look at this cover. Frankenstein Conquers the World. It's a little bit oddly shaped. It's kind of short. Look at that cover. Isn't that great? Look at the back cover. Wow. Nice. Ooh, that's interesting. Winter 2013, I bid you welcome. Brain of Frankenstein. Be a contributor, Mad Scientist. I got this in San Francisco at Green Apple Books. So in San Francisco, I don't know what it's like there right now because I left. I've been gone for almost 2 years, but there was a great, it's still good. I'm sure it's good. Anyway, there's a bookstore on Clement Street called Green Apple Books, and it's one of the few old places that are left that are still good. Anyway, they have a really good. They used to have a really good magazine section, and that's where this came from, with a bunch of unusual, weird, obscure stuff. Like this is what was in there, and I found this there one day in 2013, like when this was new. It looks good, huh? It is good. Freaky Monsters, the magazine for Golden Age lovers. Freaky Monsters number 10. This is a nice cover, isn't it? Hooray for Eddie Wood. Oh, Catwomen of the Moon. I just watched this the other day. I just saw this like last week. Nice, isn't that? That looks cool. Hollywood cover girls as the Catwomen. 2012. See that? Man, this makes me feel like I got this like out of a dollar bin at um, at a convention table. Like A1 Comics used to do this, so that may be where this is from. I can't remember though. I'm trying to place it, but this is a very nice magazine. It's heavy. These pages are thick. Look at all these great pictures, all this Ed Wood stuff. Jeez. Whole big Ed Wood thing. Wow, I need to set this aside as well. This is a nice magazine. Jeez, look at this stuff. Wow. Is it the centerfold? It is. That's a centerfold of Vampira. This is nice. Freaky Monsters number 10. Hopefully I'm helping you if this is stuff that you're interested in that you didn't know was out there or you didn't know whatever. Maybe you'll search it out now if you're interested. This is Castle of Frankenstein Annual 1967. And it's in pretty good shape too. This came from a convention, either that Fear Fest in San Francisco or some other conventions that I used to go to in Sacramento. A lot of them. We went to a bunch of different ones in Sacramento, so I'm not sure where this came from. Either conventions. This came from a convention, not a shop. That's very nice, isn't it? Usually I would pay about $10 for these back issues like this. I wouldn't go much more than that because I was spending the day at a convention and buying a bunch of stuff. I'm not like a big spender. Plus, I had kids and a girlfriend, and it's like a whole thing, I'm not there. I'm there to, we're there for the day to entertain, for entertainment and stuff. I'm not there to spend a bunch of, I was never there to spend a bunch of money on myself. But I got great stuff, the money that I did spend, right? Look at this stuff. Wow. We used to have so much fun at these conventions. This is kind of neat. This is a reprint of Mad Monsters. This was produced by the same people that make that Scary Monsters magazine. I guess this is him talking about how they did the process or something. I'm not sure because this is the cover of the magazine, and then I guess this is an introduction by Dennis Tennis or something. Not sure. Story and introduction. Mad Monsters. So here it is in here, and this is like a complete. Everything's in here. Presents these horrible features. Copyright is 1961. I couldn't see. Lots of monster magazines apparently tonight. So this is cool. This is a reprint of an unusual, hard to find one from 1961 with Steve Ditko cover. And then this is another one of their reprints that they did. This is Castle of Frankenstein. First issue collector's edition. And this is as well. It's just a cover to cover exact reprint of Castle of Frankenstein number 1. This is a parody monster magazine. It looks like it's a real monster magazine. Crazy, hip, groovy, go-go, way out monsters. But if you look right here, it says, instead of like go-go's, like Basil Go-go's, it says no-go's. $5.95 a steal. It will seem like 80 pages of filler and reprints, which is, what we've just been looking at. Reams of fulsome praise for washed up failed actors, boring stills of people standing around, endless ads for weird cheap garbage you may never even get. Isn't that great? You should try and find this. Here's a fake monster model ad for Aroma Models. Cowabunga Tabanga. Cthulhu's Cathot Rod. Emer versus Tyrannosaurus. Cool, new. Motor Cyclops. That one's cool. Dude, that's a great idea. Fiend a Go-Go Pogo. Dude, it's a fiend without a face on a nuclear-powered pogo stick. That's great. Okay, so this is pretty darn good. I like these classics are really funny. Classic illiterates, Pickman's Model, The People of the Mist, The Island of Dr. Moreau, Case of Charles Dexter Ward. Teachers and other authority figures hate us. So this cracked me up when I first bought this magazine, and I can't remember where I got this. I got this also at another one of these conventions that we used to go to, me and my kids. And this cracked me up because this is making fun of Forrest Ackerman and how he would use pages up. We have just wasted one page of your magazine. Only 47 to go. Editor. It's very funny. If you know anything about famous monsters and about what Forrest Ackerman did as the editor there, this is making fun of that. This whole thing is poking fun at it. Some of it hits and some of it doesn't. It doesn't all hit. You saw it doesn't quite. See, these photos aren't that great. It doesn't all hit, but this definitely does. And so does this. All this copy right here is funny. This copy's funniest, but I love this. It's all funny. Boring stills of people standing around, and this is funny. It's called Crazy Hip Groovy Go-Go Way Out Monsters. This is nice. From one of those conventions. Let's take this out. It says 4. Oh no, this is from mycomicshop.com. It is. This is Monster World number 5. Oh, let's pull this out. This is nice. Ooh, look at that. This is a 4.0. It looks pretty good. Maybe there's a little... Yeah, it still looks real good to me. Man, look at that. The Curse of Frankenstein and Horror of Dracula. This is like 2 movies in one magazine. This great double feature coming soon to your local theater. Wow. I hope the person who's watching this, whoever you are, that this is stuff that interests you and that maybe you've never seen this before and didn't know this was out there and it existed. It is, and you might be able to find it. Horror of Dracula and Curse of Frankenstein, 1964. Yeah, you should be able to find this. And even in this good a condition, they printed a lot of these. So this is like this is what I've heard referred to as a fumetti. This is an Italian style of making a movie into a comic book, right? It's stills from the film, with the actual dialogue, and sometimes it's altered a little bit. And you get both movies in here. You get Frankenstein and you get Dracula. Look at this. It's crazy, right? I recommend you go find this. You're not going to find it current day, the time that you're watching this video, for as cheap as I found this. Because, like I said, I didn't pay very much for this. This was from my comic shop probably 10 years ago, and it was probably $6. You might still be able to find it. I have no idea how much this stuff is worth. I don't look it up, so I don't know. But this is like brand new. Do you see it? Other than this schmutz up here, this damage, this is what makes it a 4.0. Otherwise, geez, look at this thing. Shiny. Wow. Okay. Castle of Frankenstein. That's a nice cover, isn't it? This is number 9. Got a red circle around it. I probably paid less for it because of that. What a nice Nice cover. Here's Monster World. Special bonus this issue, Son of Frankenstein, complete with rare pictures. Look at how nice that cover is. Look at that angle. Isn't that cool? So it's like us looking down from, we're like in that open part in the roof where the lightning strikes and everything. And we're like looking down at them. Isn't that amazing? You want to open up this Monster World? I do. Look, I was completely wrong. So there's another Vampire Tales, but I didn't have this as a kid. I got this from like either a convention or my comic shop. All right. Wow, this is a heavy book. This Monster World is thick. And it also is like brand new. Yeah. Which number is it? It's March number 7. These masks. Man, I always wanted these when I was a kid. I didn't get any of these when I was a kid. They're awesome. Now, I would have liked that calendar that they made too. I didn't get one of those either. This is the monster of Pietro Blancos or something. I got it wrong. That's It from Beyond Space. This looks real close, doesn't it? Monster World. There's Warren and Ackerman again. They're just all over this stuff. Monster World number 7. I think it's about 1965 or something. Let's get into this one a little bit. Let's open it up and take a look at what Monster World number 7 has to offer to us. Warren magazines at this point are pretty new. I mean, this is like, it's pretty early. I mean, this is like the early 60s. Is that what I said? Did I say about 65? When I found out about Warren, it felt like, I guess really they were towards the end or something. I don't really know the whole history, but they were pretty powerful, man. That Creepy and that Eerie and that Vampirella and that Famous Monsters in like 1975, 76. It was big. 77, it was big. Creepy was awesome. It's a nice magazine. Forrest Ackerman, he knew what he was doing. He was schmaltzy and corny and everything. A little weird, maybe. But he knew what he was doing with these magazines. This is good stuff. He was very meticulous with this stuff, and there's funny things about him. Like that taking up wasting a page is funny. That's funny. Look at this. This is really nice. You should get this if you don't have this. You should get it. You should get all these magazines we've been looking at. This is a lifestyle channel, and I'm going to help you to learn to succeed in life. And if you want to succeed, you need to possess all of this bullshit, this crap. So this was from my comic shop. It's in nice condition. It's number 3. Nightmare. It's really nice, badass Morbius cover. Satana, the Devil's Daughter. But that Morbius cover is sick. See? This will cure your depression. Ooh. Stanley presents Vampire Tales. Look at this stuff over here. Tales of the Zombie. I'll show you that in a second. Well, as soon as we're done with this, let me show you this essential Tales of the Zombie that I have. Wow, this is nice looking, man. I need to get more of these. This is a good movie. Is this The Brides of Dracula? Is this the one? I think that's what this is, isn't it? No, it's just a vampire article, but I think that's what the one that is. It's a good one. Man, this is cool, right? Pretty awesome. Let's do some more. Let me grab this. Let me show you this. probably right here behind the executioner. It is. Maybe we can just slide him to the side. Move over, you big dummy. Don't let that enchantress keep telling you what to do. Don't be such a simp. All right. Look at this. So this was one of the first essentials that I got. I mean, a long time ago, like 2008, 2009 or something. The reason I remember it so well is that I went on vacation with my girlfriend, and she rented this really nice cabin for a week. It was such a nice cabin, man. It was really nice. So she rented this really nice cabin for a week, just her and I, and I took this as my reading material, and this is what I read all week. And it's just still in my mind that this is what I read during that vacation. I don't know if you've ever done that before, if you've ever taken something to read on vacation, and usually I take 3 times as many books as I need when I go on vacation. Anyway, this is great. Look at this thing. This is Tales of the Zombie 1 through 10, and then Dracula Lives 1 through 2, and 1 and 2. And it's everything. It's even the letters pages. It's like the complete entire issues. It's really well done. Everything's here. All the articles. All the ads. Look at that. See? It's just like what we were just looking at. Yeah, so I recommend this one, man. If this slipped under your radar, see? This is out. You should get this. If you can find this, get this. I don't know how much of it. Also, again, I didn't look anything up. I never do. Didn't know we were going to look at this, but look how good this is, man. If there's a bookmark right here, this is as far as I got on vacation. It is. Okay, what's the bookmark? So this vacation that I went on, this is as far as I read through that week. And I haven't read it since. Beyond the Pale, Gothic Emporium. What is this? Beyond the Pale, located. I don't know. I don't remember what this is about, but this was probably my girlfriend and I went to this place. All right. That's cool, right? Look at that. Ooh, look at that right there. Man. It was $16.99. Good luck finding it for $16.99. Maybe it's out there. Maybe you could find this at a thrift store for even less. So what do you say? More magazines, cars, toys, stories. I don't know what is playing on the TV right now. Have you guys seen me yet tonight? Right here. Hey. So, yeah, I don't know what we're going to look at next. I still haven't gotten into that chest that I was talking about like last week. I did get underneath that box and get into that big tote that's filled with art stuff. Could look at that. There's just so much stuff in there, though. It's just really random. I found this big print of the devil's face today or yesterday or whenever that was. It's just this huge devil print. It might be on top. Come on. No, it's not. I don't know what I did with it. It's not where I thought it was. We could grab more magazines. Could look at just random stuff. Look at all that dust on that. Oh man, on that frame. This is stuff ready to be processed right here. I just haven't gotten to it. So we could do more magazines. There's no telling what else we could do. these are kind of interesting. Um, let's go back here and grab another handful of these because they look. I don't know. What is that? That's something old. That's something old. That wow. All right, hold on. Let me set you down. Here, look at the Hulkster. There's a lot of old stuff here. Wow, it's a bunch. Let's grab it all. Jeez. Bunch of Kung Fu magazines. Let's grab all of this. Alright. There's more than I can even handle. Wow. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Okay. Look, see, look what I found. It's just like a big stack of Deadly Hands of Kung Fu and a bunch of other stuff. Come on, you want to look at magazines, hang out for a bit? It's been a half hour. We could do a little bit more. We could do this other stack, right? Why not? Sorry about that, Baroness. So let's get rid of. Remember this, Tales of the Zombie, essential. It's good. Okay. Wow, this was a cool magazine. So in the 70s, when I was a little kid, I was really into Kung Fu and martial arts. And I loved this magazine. So this was a magazine that I bought as much as I could wherever I could find it. Usually it was at the newsstand in Placerville. That's where most of these all come from. Number 4. This, I think, has got a big special interview with David Carradine about the TV show Kung Fu. And it might even have a center. It's real cheesy stuff, man. Some of it's really good, and the stories in here are really good, but it's dated. Right, it is dated. I mean, but it's cool. Look at that, right? Have you ever checked out Deadly Hands of Kung Fu? It's a good magazine. Look, September 1974. I was like 10 years old. Look at this stuff, man. It's just great. Look at, I mean, this is just a dream come true for a little kid. Look at it all. There's really nothing as good like it. Oh, see, look at that. Very little, but this show was good though. Oh man, look at that. That's the cover. It's the cover from Marvel Premiere number, what is it, 15 or something. I have that one. I bought it when I was a kid. So this show was good though, but it still wasn't as good as any of the comics. I mean, but this is a neat article. Look at these illustrations of Kane. You don't really see this stuff, right? Very often. Have you ever seen this stuff? See? Kung Fu Revisited. All right, let's keep going because we got a bunch more, man. I loved this magazine, so I bought as many of them as I could find. The Final Duel. This is the first time I saw Shang-Chi. So this magazine is how I knew about. So I knew about Shang-Chi because I saw him in the ads in the regular Marvel comics, but I had never read a Master of Kung Fu comic book. Instead, I had read this magazine. So I knew who he was because of this magazine, but later on, when I was like in 8th and 9th grade, look at that Doc Savage. When I was like in 8th and 9th grade is when I found Master of Kung Fu, and it had Mike Zeck as the artist, and it was really good. And that's when I started buying Shang-Chi and Master of Kung Fu. Look at this ad right here. But it's not an ad. It's a, I don't know. It's a pinup by Terry Austin, and that's Robert Mitchum. Deadly Hands of Kung Fu. It's just great stuff, man. Look at this. Just lots of combat going on here. And then there's these articles that I was really into the articles. I read everything and looked at every one of these diagrams and all the photos, and so into all this stuff. A couple of these guys, like some of these articles were written by like Chris Claremont or like Mike Frederick or something. These guys, those guys that were writing for Marvel and were living in New York City, they were going to like these kung fu theaters, and then they were writing articles, and they were finding out about this stuff like in real time, just like we were there. As Don McGregor. So a lot of the articles in this magazine were written by regular staff writers that their names from the Marvel comics, but they were also writing, and they were also going to these movies, and they were into this stuff at the same time. This is a great one. This is number 9. That's just a classic, amazing cover with the bottom of this guy's foot. He's got the ponytail at the top of his head. Man, how could you resist this for 75 cents? The bright yellow and the red. Just goes on and on. Oh, look at these tournament photos. It's like an exhibition. Look at Stan. Uncle Stan wants you to buy crazy. Kick the newsstand, have it. Hiya. Hiya. Iron Fist was in here too. Sons of the Tiger. I remember this article. I remember this guy. The guy in the black geese right here. The Hidden Fist of David Brownridge. He's like a New York dude. See, this is the Brownwood School. So these guys were like investigating into this, writing articles about this stuff. Look, here's some Kempo karate. I love this. Basic sparring, kumite. Taekwondo. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, still there? Here's another issue. There's something special about this issue, I think. I don't know, is this the last issue? Or is this like the first appearance of somebody? If you know, tell me. Oh, look, I have 2 number 9s. Whoa. Look at that. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Okay. Yeah, I thought there was something special about this issue, and I didn't know until way later that this was some sort of a special issue. Anyway, I have it. I bought it. Sorry. I loved this cover. So I think this is a really cool cover. Look at that. It's Earl Norham. Man, I hope that freaking shark doesn't fall off. I need to be careful. Earl Norham did that. Isn't that great? And now the White Tiger has shown up, and he's in here now, and he's great too. I like him. That's number 30. Look at this. This is a special. It's got the Bruce Lee cover, and everybody wanted to borrow this. Look at how messed up it is. So everyone wants to borrow the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu that has Bruce Lee on the cover. And then this is what happens when I leave it over at my friend Steve's house. I don't care though, because everybody got to read it. And it's the only copy I have. I'm not going to sell it. It's the only one I've ever had from the very beginning. Why would I get rid of this? Look at this amazing art. This is Neil Adams. Isn't that great? That's on the back. Special Bruce Lee, the Dragon Still Lives. Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu. Look at this. I know I say that all the time, sorry. I'm just always in amazement of my possessions that I haven't seen in years, and I forget that I own them. And then when I pull them out, and I'm reminded of everything. And I need to reread all this stuff. It's been 30 years since I've looked at this, and just looking at it with you guys, I'm all exclaiming incredulously, oh, look at this. So I told my son about this. We talked about this. And this right here, this version of Bruce in this outfit with this big axe right up here, this needs to be an action figure. They give us everything else, all the other, his other most famous appearances. There's like 2 or 3 most famous ways that Bruce Lee looks. But wouldn't it be great if we got to see him like this in action figure form? I mean, you could make that figure and customize it somehow. I just want to see more of this. I want to see, like, how about a poster like that? More like that. Look at how cool he looked with the fur vest and the giant axe, right? Okay. We had that discussion. I remember it. When I was showing my son. When my son first saw these magazines, I showed him that. I said, "Look." And he goes, "What is that?" And I go, "It's the coolest Bruce Lee has ever looked." And he's all, "What the heck?" Yeah, because we like weapons. And so uh, he's like, "Whoa, that axe is cool." Look at this cover. See, this is the stuff that I really got into right here. I read these articles. Oh, this is a good one. This is a Chris Claremont one. Remember I said that. And men shall call him samurai. So this is a Chris Claremont article that's like he was like really getting into Japanese samurai movies. Look, there's Lone Wolf and Cub, and he's telling you all about it, as if he's introducing it to you. It's not like it's so much in a review of the movies as much as he's telling you that he's seen them and this is what they're about and they're really good and you should check them out. That's kind of what it is. Paul Galassi. That's nice, right? Boy, this is some heavy stuff, isn't it? Did you know that Deadly Hands of Kung Fu was this heavy, or did you think it was just silly? I bet you did. I bet you just thought it was silly. It's more than you think. Whew, here's an early one with an amazing Neal Adams cover. And what issue is this? If this is issue number 1 or 2, I think it is. I can't even remember. Bonus king size pinup of David Carradine. I don't know which is this number 1? I forget. It doesn't say number 1 on the cover, right? It's number 2. Okay. Oh, here's the pinup, the David Carradine. Maybe I don't have number 1. This is number 2. Maybe this is the first one that I got. See, look at that. It's a double-sized pinup, and you got to rip the cover off of the magazine to hang it up. Kwai Chang Caine. And there's an exclamation point at the end. That's nice. So this is number 2, right at the beginning of this magazine. They weren't quite sure what they were doing probably, and it looks amazing. Look at this. See? How could you pass this up, man? Look at this stuff. My God. It's fucking dope. And to me, so I had seen some Kung Fu movies already, but I really hadn't seen much. And so this was more accessible to me than an actual Kung Fu movie when I was 10 years old. It was. It really was. This was more accessible to me. It was easier for me to read this to get to a movie theater that would be showing one of these movies. And so this is what I did. This is how I got my martial arts at the very beginning. All of this stuff. Oh, I remember just learning about this. And I probably read this 100 times about how to make a fist and about how to use that knuckle right there to pop somebody right in the bridge of the nose. All of this stuff over and over again. Really, really good, man. Number 3, this is such a cool cover. Is Jim Lee the new Bruce Lee? I mean, Jim Kelly, this guy. We went to a convention and met him, right? Was it Jim Kelly that we met? In San Francisco at the Wizard Con? Lou Ferrigno was there, a bunch of people. Anyway, my friend Charles was with us. And he's a huge martial arts guy, big karate man. And he was so excited that this guy was there, that Jim Kelly was there. That was a nice convention. That was in San Francisco, some sort of wizard, was it? No, Dragon Con or something, at Moscone Center in about 2012 or 2011 or 2013. It was when that It was when that Green Lantern movie with the new Green Lantern movie with that guy, that new actor came out. They were all there. Like the see, there he is. There was a lot of stars at that convention. A lot of big. It was they were promoting a bunch of movies. Man, this is a good one. Look at this stuff, man. Sweep your way to victory. Look at that. Heel stomp. Cool stuff. Horror Tales. This thing's ready to disintegrate. It's very old. August 1972. Look at this cover. In this issue, a nightmare of bone-cracking terror with the demon, the thing that was neither living nor dead. Grotesque. Now look at the cover. This is one of my most prized possessions. This cover alone, like my cousins, they used to have this house in River Park in Sacramento, and it had a big backyard, right, with a big pool and everything. But there was their stepdad had built them like a permanent structured playhouse. It was 2 stories, and it wasn't a tree house. It was like a freestanding playhouse, and the bottom area was like a sandbox play area. But you'd go up these stairs, or not stairs. You go up this ladder, and up on the top was a whole like bunkhouse for sleepovers. For like there were 2 bunk beds and a little camping table. It was all set up, so it was enough room for like 4 kids to have a sleepover outside in the backyard. It was a great idea. His name was Derry. It was a great idea that Derry had, and so we had sleepovers there. And this is this magazine, dude. And so we would read comic books and magazines, or just mostly just kind of look at them and read the short horror stories in here, sometimes together by flashlight, me and my 2 cousins. And this was just a heavy, heavy hitter, man. Look at that cover. And the stories in here as well. They're these real cheesy short horror stories in black and white, but we just thought they were great when we were like 7, 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, right around there. That's when this was all happening. And we were almost kind of sneaking this. So when we would be out there reading these magazines and comics by flashlight, if we would get too loud and start yelling and squealing and having too much fun at like past 10 o'clock at night, they could hear us in the house still. Even though this is a big yard and we're in the backyard, it's the summertime and the windows are open. Plus, they're kind of listening and everything. And so he would come out, "Hey, you boys, what's going on out here? What are you guys doing?" And we'd like hide these magazines. Great times, great memories around this stuff. We used to like to try and scare each other or be scared right before bed. Like try and what a weird thing to do. Especially since we like kind of all 3 of us, me and those 2 other cousins I'm telling you about that we used to hang out with in the backyard, we all 3 of us had like kind of tragic childhoods. And we were in the middle of those tragic childhoods when we were doing these things. Look at this magazine, Quasimodo's Monster Magazine, and it's a comedy. It's a comedy cover. Even though on the inside of here it's not a comedy magazine. This is just a regular monster magazine. Actually, it's one that's kind of on the cheap end. It's kind of like not as good as all the other ones we've been looking at. This is one that you could only find at certain locations. Like they wouldn't sell this at certain places because it was just so lowbrow and so hard to get, poor distribution. You know, want to look inside? Here, come on. This might be something you're interested in. You're like, yeah, of course I want to look inside. I've never seen that magazine. All right, we still have time. What have we been looking at? Has it been mostly monster magazines? I guess maybe I'll write something like looking at monster kung fu and monster magazines. Wow, look at this. Star Wrecked. So this thing in here, Star Wrecked. I bet you people buy this magazine just for that. Like Star Trek fans. I don't know. I'm not going to bet you, but maybe it happens. April 19th. Like this is, oh, that's the one that has Star Wreck in it or something. I don't know. This looks good, right? Hmm. What is this called? The Ponfar? Man, this is so many pictures of this guy. Well, it's just, this was a phenomenon. It really was, because this show was not a huge hit at the beginning, and they thought it was kind of silly, a lot of people, but it wasn't until like 5 or 10 years later that it just started hitting, and it was when I was a little kid. This is 76, and I was 11 or 12 years old. We watched this show every night. It was on Monday through Friday in syndication every night at 6 p.m. And everyone watched it. All my friends, my mom watched it with me. Everybody, families watched this show together, which hadn't happened in the original run of it. It just didn't quite fit in it didn't fit in with prime time, but it fit in at 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. People couldn't stop watching it. Look at this. Kill, kill, kill. Dude, that's great. Man, don't sleep on Quasimodo's Monster Magazine. April. What's the number on this? Volume 2, number 7, April 76. Well, I mean, you're not going to forget this cover, right? It even says Star Wrecked right there. That's good, right? So we'll say Kung Fu and Monster Magazines. That's what we'll call it. Isn't that beautiful? Hammer Halls of Horror. That's nice. Here's another one. It's not. Oh yeah, this one is Halls, and this one is House. This is Hammer's Halls of Horror, and this is the House of Horror. These are British magazines. These are imports. I don't remember where I got these, but I didn't buy them off the stands, that's for sure. That's nice. See, look at this. This is the one that has Curse of the Werewolf, the full film told in comics. This is such a great movie. So I loved this movie when I was a little kid. I saw this movie on television a bunch of times. They used to show it like on Saturday or Sunday afternoons. It's got Oliver Reed in it. It's questionable that they showed this movie. I mean, this movie's got some heavy stuff in it. Oh, look at that. The Sentinel. This movie's got some heavy stuff in it, and look at how good this is. The art is by John Bolton. Can you believe? Did you know that this existed? That there was this comic book adaptation of Curse of the Werewolf by John Bolton? Is there a part 2? I think it's got to be continued. That wasn't the whole thing, right? Yeah, here it continues right here. There he is. Look how good it is. Man, this is good. Well done. Well done. Look at that. The House of Hammer. It's got the Curse of the Werewolf cover. House of Hammer number 10. Here's another Monster World. Look at that cover, man. Isn't that great? Tor Johnson. Man, what's happening here? That's just a great cover. I wonder who painted that. That is so awesome. Monster World number 5. And then this will be the last one. It's another Hammer Halls of Horror. It's got Shandor, the Demon Stalker, told in comics, which is really good. And this one has The Brides of Dracula, the movie that we were just talking about before, or I was talking about. And then behind the scenes of Warlords of the Deep. And that's just a great cover. Hey, thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed watching this video where we're looking at monster magazines and kung fu magazines. And let's move the Baroness out of the way and set stuff up. Get ready to take the thumbnail for the video that you guys clicked on and watched. And thanks for doing it. And if you liked it, go ahead and like it, share and subscribe, and come back again. Take care.